Welcome back. We have Calvin Heimburg joining us here at the press conference. Hello, Calvin.
Hello.
We are a quarter of the way, theoretically, through the season now. The first major last weekend and right back into an Elite Series event. How are you adjusting to the van life and your schedule and just the way that you're traveling so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm adjusting good. It's nice having the extra space and just having everything to cook, fridge, sink, everything. I don't know, life is just a little bit easier having all those things in your vehicle. So everything's going good, and hopefully everything stays good for the remainder of the season.
Well, seemingly it's not affecting your play, maybe even enhancing. 2 years ago, you actually won this event. Last year, you took second. You've been shredding out on the course, top card, second card, every weekend. How do you feel going into this weekend specifically?
I feel pretty good going into this event. It's a longer course than what we were playing last weekend, a lot more drivers. It is a little wet out there, but I think you still have to attack the course, so I think it's still a pretty aggressive game plan, and hopefully hitting fairways with the drivers and then making putts.
All right. Last question for you, Calvin, and it doesn't have much to do with this weekend. Just can you give us your quick two-sentence feelings about the current state of professional disc golf and our Elite Series tour?
Yeah, I mean, everything. I'm super excited for disc golf. It's growing at an incredible rate. I mean, just in the past few years, since I've been on tour, just the galleries have grown immensely, and just the ability to actually make this a livelihood is a little bit more, it's easier to actually say this is my job. So, it's going great.
Hey Calvin, Nate Perkins here. I wanted to ask you, the past 3 majors, you've put yourself in a position to win. This past one, you were on the lead card final round. USDGC, you 2 years ago, you put yourself in a spot to win with that putt on 17. Worlds in Utah, you put yourself on the lead card final round, and you've come up short. I want to ask you, how do those experiences, memories sit with you? Is this something that you think of often, that you were so close to becoming a major champion, to becoming a world champion, and came up just short?
No, I don't really dwell on it too much. Luckily, our tour is pretty fast-paced, so there's not much time to think about it. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I really just have to continue to push and try to get better myself. I mean, regardless of whether I win an event or not, like just because I win, I know everyone else is. If I were to have won, everyone else is still pushing to get better, so I still have to continue to push to get better. Just because I have an accolade underneath my belt doesn't mean I can stop pushing. So nothing really changes. I mean, it would be nice to pull one off here eventually, but win or loss, it doesn't really change the approach for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, how would you say that you're handling the footing? I know we've asked this question a few times, but you know, the shots from the fairway are seeming pretty difficult, and even on some of the putts on some of the sloped hills out here, you know, a little slip can have a big impact on the putt.
I'm handling it pretty well. I feel like as far as the way I throw, I don't quite rely on as much grip on the ground as some people. I don't like the super treaded shoes, so I feel pretty confident out there, but I think if it stays wet out here and people continue to play the course, it's only going to progressively get worse and get sloppier. So we'll see how it is at the end of the week.
Hey, Calvin, Grant Zellner, PDGA. Even after a top performance as you had last week, placing very well, are you still thinking about adjustments that need to be made, and are those based on your own perceived weaknesses or based more on the challenge of a new course?
I think I'm always working on what I would perceive as my weaknesses. But yeah, every week is different. Every course presents different challenges. So sometimes those kind of take a backseat. You do have to come out and learn the course, because in the end, like, this is what's in front of me right now. I have to be ready for this course starting tomorrow. So the course takes precedent over any of my perceived weaknesses, but I'm always working on those as well.
Are you a player who changes out discs in your bag from week to week? And if so, what changes might you have made this week?
I don't change discs out too often. I would say occasionally I do change some discs out. Typically those are just I throw some mid-ranges out. A lot of courses we play on tour, I just don't feel like I put myself in a place where I need to throw a mid-range very often. A lot of times it's either I'm throwing some kind of utility disc on an approach or it's like a putter. So I feel like in the current state of disc golf and course design, mid-ranges have kind of been eliminated from a lot of thought process. So on open courses like this, I might throw one or two of them out because they're not really necessary.
Based on your experience at this venue and at this event, and based on what you've seen out there in terms of the conditions, what kind of score per round do you think it's going to take to win this tournament?
I really don't think too much about score per round. I don't really ever put a total in my head that I think I need to get to. I'm just out there playing the course to the best of my abilities. So I don't really have an idea of where it's going to be. It's going to be really hinged on the weather. I mean, it always is, but people generally shoot hot here, so you're probably going to need to be in digits most rounds if you want a chance.
Hey, Calvin, Chris with Gatekeeper Media. There's a lot of video out there of you interacting with wilderness, so I just have a fun little question of what's your spirit animal?
I feel like it's been asked before, and I want to say I'd said
Might have been
like,
me, honestly.
I want to say I said like sandhill crane or something. So for consistency, I'll just stick with that.
Awesome. That's all I got for you.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Calvin. We will be right back.